Hey guys, I'm Sierra from Moon Honey Doula Services, and let's jump right in. So let's talk about it. What is a doula? Loaded question. Very, very hard question to answer. um, it would honestly be easier for me to tell you what a doula is not. Um, because there are a lot of misconceptions out there. So let's start with the misconceptions. Misconception, first one that comes to mind, we're not bulldogs. Okay, we do not go into your birthing space, guns blazing, protecting you as our baby cubs. That's not that's not what we do. What we do is support your choices. So when you hire a doula, typically you would meet with them prenatally so that you can go over comfort measures, your birth plan, and one of the things that I personally go over is making sure you've chosen the right care provider, a care provider that supports you, a care provider who has a team that is on board with your plan. Further than that, how do we make sure your care provider is on board with your plan? We ask the right questions. So, more about that later. But in general, there has not been a situation in which I walked into a birthing space and disrespected the birthing space by creating tension or starting an argument. Now, to be frank, we said we were going to talk about it, so let's talk about it. To be frank, I have seen both sides. I've seen care providers be lovely. I've seen them be supportive. I've seen them put away their personal preferences to make sure that this family got what they wanted. I've also seen the other side of it where that doesn't always happen, which is why we tackle the issue way before. We make sure bait and switch is a real thing. It's a real thing in the birth world. So we have to look for those signs. We have to make sure that we've chosen care providers that are supportive of our decisions and that are on board with you having a doula, so that when I show up on the scene, there's no unnecessary tension, because frankly, not everyone is on board with doulas. And two, that they are going to do everything within their power to get you the birth that you desire. Okay? Having a birth plan is a great place to start, and I'm going to be honest, I've seen it work. And yes, of course, I know that everything does not go as planned. But when you focus on what you want, and when you have a confident birthing person, when you have a confident family who feel like they're in control, things do tend to go much more smoothly. So, yes, if you're looking for someone to, we use the word advocate a lot. If you're looking for someone to advocate for you, well, yes, of course, I advocate for birth justice. I advocate for equality, and I advocate for the right to birth the way that you want. I do not advocate that while you are birthing. So, sometimes that word advocate makes people think that we are going to be their spokesperson, and that's just not true. There's a very, very popular, it's one of my favorites, popular doula quote that says, doulas don't show up with their superhero capes on. We tighten yours. You have the power. This is your birth. We make sure that you know how to use your voice. Okay? So I hope I was clear about that. Second thing is that doulas are only for natural birth. That's not true. I mean, to be honest, there are doulas for things that aren't even birth related. So it would be unfair to say that doulas are only for natural birth. Of course, you're going to have doulas that specialize in certain things, and that is 100% okay. I thought that I was going to be that kind of doula as well. And then when I started doing my training, and then when I started, learning more about birth justice, I realized, okay, well, you know what? My personal feelings and the way that I might choose to birth has no room here. It doesn't belong here. It has no place, has no business being anywhere near your birth, has no business being an idea that I planted in your head, has no business being on your birth plan. And so when you hear people say that doulas are support people who provide physical, emotional, and informational support, personally, that definition, it's a little clinical to me. And it's very limiting considering all the things that we do and all the things that we can provide to your family. But I'm saying this to say that that informational part, that means that we give you the information on both sides. We're giving you the research. We're giving you that, you hear that term, evidence-based. We're giving you the evidence, right? And we are helping you to make a decision that's best for your family. So I'm giving you the information. I'm telling you the pros and the cons. I'm making sure you know the risk. I'm making sure you know the side effects. And should you choose that you want to have an epidural, or if you want to, unfortunately, the laughing gas, like kind of like the forget the technical term for it. It's nitro something, but like the one that you would have when you went to the dentist. I've personally never had laughing gas at the dentist, but I know plenty of people who have. That is really, really popular overseas because of the short amount of time that it lasts, and the short lasting effects. And it makes you loopy and it makes you happy, but it has less detrimental side effects than some of the other medicines. And I live by the idea that birth doesn't have to be painful. Birth doesn't have to be scary. Birth doesn't have to be uncomfortable. Because I personally believe that the way you approach something mentally, if you're mentally prepared, your body will follow. However, that doesn't mean that I can't be your doula if you want an epidural. I've had clients that have had epidurals. I've had clients that have had inductions. And, I've even had clients who specifically come to me and say, I really want to try to have a natural birth. And then they try, and maybe they decide, okay, I tried, and I'm proud of myself for getting this far, for laboring this long without medical intervention. But now I'd like my epidural. And you know what? That is okay. I am not here to judge you. I am not here to tell you how to birth your baby. I'm not here to tell you how to feel. So my goal as your doula is to support your choices. And, I would like to be clear that I'm not speaking for all doulas, but most of the doulas that I know are like-minded. They want to support your choices. As long as you are informed, you can make that choice. So let's see what's next. Dads and partners, we're not here to replace you, okay? We are a part of your birth team. So I would challenge you for a moment to think of it as, yes, we have different roles, but think of it like this. Even though your OB or your midwife has a very important role in your birth, they're not coming in to replace you, right? The nurses, very important role. They're doing lots of things for the birthing person. They're making sure she's good, checking on her, doing these things, not replacing your role, right? Doulas are the same. We do not come in seeking to replace you. I would like to say that it is impossible to place you. I acknowledge that you can feel replaced based on, or not feel replaced, but that you can feel the fear of being replaced. But I can assure you that that is not our goal. Every family is different. What we do in general is make sure that you feel equipped, that you feel ready, that you know what to do, you know what to say. We have way too many dads and partners out here who are telling me, I don't really know what to do. Or let's say, they're second time, third time dads. Well, last time she kicked me out. You know what I mean? And this is your birth too. So rather than looking at a doula coming in as a replacement, why don't you look at the doula coming in as an addition to your team, okay? That could mean that you get to sit back and really enjoy the process and just really, really, really enjoy the experience of birthing, because this is your birth as well. That could mean that you want to make sure that she or he or they are comfortable. So you want to pick up on all the comfort measure techniques while I take care of some of the other things. That could mean that you want to do the opposite, that you want to do the hand holding, that you want to do the positive affirmations, that you want to have that intimate connection. That could mean that I step away for a little while you guys have a moment, while you do all the things that we practice, right? So when we say that, when we say that doulas are for dads too, we mean it. When my entire program is based upon inclusion, including older siblings if you want, moms and mothers-in-laws, and most importantly, making sure that dad, partner, knows exactly what to do and knows how to step up. A common complaint from the mothers and from the birthing people is that I don't know how he or they are going to react, right? He, she, or they. And so it provides a certain level of comfort both to the birthing person and to you to feel more confident in your role at the birth. When we say be an active participant in your birth, we're not just talking to mom or the birthing person, right? So, and I would like to say that it is important to me that I make sure everyone feels like an active participant in their birth. And so I do say, hey, do you want to? And if you don't, that's okay. Again, I'm not judging you. There are dads out there who are afraid of blood, and some of them are like, I got to stay up here. So you got that down there, and so if I'm, that might mean me taking a step back while you support the birthing person and I walk you both through what's happening, right? Depending on what birthing position that you're in. Some people like to have mirrors, some people don't. But there is a wide variety of options, and a wide variety of things and ways that we can work together. So I just want to be really, really, really clear that we do take it seriously, that the misconception is that we're replacing you guys. We're not. That is not our goal. I'm sure there are plenty more misconceptions, but I can't think of any more right now. So I'm sure you're asking me, well, what do you do? You tell me all these things that you don't do. What we do is make sure that you feel supported. And I know I say that word support a lot, but it's the most accurate way to describe it. So whatever choices you make sure you feel supported. When you go and you talk to your care provider about how to get what you want, asking those right questions, making sure that you're clear and concise, making sure that you do feel in control, that you do feel confident, and when you're in labor and when you're birthing, that if you do have a moment where you feel like you've lost your confidence a little bit, or you feel like you can't do it, we're there to remind you that you can. And I'll leave off by saying, I mentioned that the typical definition for a doula is a bit clinical, and I say that because it's all about how you feel. There's a quote, and I'm probably gonna misphrase it, but it's something like, if I touched one person, if I impacted one life, then I've done my job. Okay? And I heard that early on, like in my college years, and I have held that idea with me because it's not about me. You can want to influence the masses, right? You can want to do all these great things, but how you're able to make someone feel, even if there's just one person, that matters, because how a person feels matters. And so the biggest feedback that I get is how I was able to make a person feel. And that's what it boils down to. That is what it boils down to. How did you feel? Did you feel supported? Did you feel safe? Did we do our best to achieve your positive birth experience, something that's going to stay with you for the rest of your life? So that is my take on what a doula is and what a doula does. If you guys have any questions, or if there's anything that is burning, anything I missed, please comment below. Look forward to continuing the conversation with you guys. Bye.